Hello, Lauren. How was your day today? Tired, like me? Prepare these posts to show I'm going online. And then my computer decides to lag out. Hi. Hi. Hi, Ava. Hello. Hi, Suki. Trying to get everything posted and everything. This should be, these all should be like timed posts or something. I don't know. Shouldn't have to click everywhere and lag my laptop. Well, hopefully that is enough. We're closing a couple of windows so we don't have too much legs. Too many legs. I shaved. Well, I didn't shave. I supposedly trimmed a little bit. Um, hi. Hi, Rem. I. Yeah. The guard of the trimmer we have, the biggest setting without the clip, is really, really short. So it's like, you know, it's a love it or hate type situation. I need a better guard for my beard because it just takes it all off, really. I mean, by the end of the weekend, I'll have a full beard again. But yeah. Can you hear me properly? More or less. Perfect. Perfect. I did think about investing in one of those like stand microphones, but I don't really have the space around me. It would just literally be in the way. Um, and my laptop is quite loud. Um, the 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 fan on it is quite loud, so it would have to be like a Yeti Blue or something like that. Let's see, let's see, let's see. Okay. Ooh, nice. Look at that. That's our first spam. It is. Isn't that awesome? That is pretty cool. Because it means that our channel is getting enough attention during this week that bots need to show up on it. Yay! We have bots. And I can't be asked to do anything about it right now, so unless it starts um, invading the chat too much, then we'll keep it there. But yes, an old artist friend of mine, an old artist friend. They're not old; they're just an old friend. That's an artist. Um, Told me that certain things in an artist's life. Uh, oh, brilliant! Good. That's good to know. That certain thing in an artist's life are celebratory milestones that you need to appreciate, such as your first troll and your first, art theft. So you need to, yeah, first hate comment, first unexplainable threat that is like, why did you draw this? Die. you yeah, you need to celebrate those because even though it's a negative thing, it means that you're in the public eye enough. Yes, exactly. Exactly that, Lauren. Trolls. Trolls, also known as people who have nothing going on for them. So they use their time to help you out and give you a even bigger platform for your voice because no one likes trolls. So as soon as you're attacked by one, you, I don't know. I don't know. I admittedly don't have too much experience with trolls. I have enough that I don't want to have to deal with it anymore, but that's like that. Where's this telescope? There you go. So these blues need to be in one thingy because we wanna do the swing. Yeah. All engagement is good engagement. That is very well said. Yes, that is what I was trying to get at. I'm trying to find how to make my chat pop up like I did last time. There you go, pop out. Brilliant. Because now I can increase the size of this chat and actually read without like going way too close. Yeah, trolls. I wonder who came up with the name trolls. Ooh, cookie baking. Sounds nice. Lol. Oh no, Lauren. That is not how that is done. Oh Ram, you sweet naive child. A cookie whoop. Oh, hi Ben. How is Macedonia? Okay. Do I want to do all the defining lines first, or what are we doing here, really? What is life? What is Celeste? Yeah, I figured. That's good. Are you living there, or were you there for work? I was trying to wrap my whoop. My goodness. Oh, very cool. Very nice. Just in time then. Moved just in time to get locked down in a new country. Though to be fair, I have no idea what the situation has been with COVID in Macedonia. Was it bad there? Yeah, I guess so. Oh, Suki, I'm glad you like her. She is doing okay, I think. She still has quite a few ways to go, but I think uh, we might finish Celeste today. And if we do, then the next session will be adding just minor details, minor textures, and stuff like that. And we should be almost done. I'm sorry to hear. It can't be easy. Being. Sorry to. Yeah. Sorry, my headset does this quite a bit. It can't be easy being stuck in lockdown in a new country where you're still trying to find your bearings and everything, and here you are in a new place, and you need to be so mindful of everything that's happening with the pandemic. You are too kind. She is coming along, I would say. Oh, that is good. That is good stuff. Everyone, Ben used to be um, one of my very first coworkers when I attempted to work for a IT company, and I used to do web design, really, really amateur, crappy web design. But we soon realized I just don't have the human skills to work with other people. I had an artist mind and I wanted to do things my way, not the way the customer wanted it, because the customers knew nothing. Aw, thank you, Cupcake. You are far too kind. Let's see. Let's see what it looks like. Um, hmm. There's some things that are a little bit still not iffy, but could be better. But it is looking. Oh, silly thing. It is looking like a piece I invested time in. Yeah, I just, I was young and I was full of ideas of what I would want to see on these websites and how, if I was a viewer, um, what I would. Uh, Thank you, Ben. Thanks. I'm glad you all like it. Um, yeah, I had ideas and I wanted to convey those ideas, even when it wasn't appropriate to do so. It was my first job, come on. You know, though to be fair, I think I was 18. It was my first official job, let's say, because it was Malta. An I had a side job since I was like 12 years old, so how else was I going to pay for my PlayStation when I was 12, if not with child labor? Yeah, I was learning how to deal with people, with customers in general. Which, to be fair, those lessons, and I remember specifically the project I was working on that I got. I actually was never told off by our boss at the time, who's still Facebook friends with me. Um, they just took it as a kind like an amusing thing how I dealt with the customer, and obviously made sure I never spoke to the customer again. Hmm. But yeah, I learned a lot from that experience because nowadays I obviously use a lot of what I learned from that behavior to my customers today. Okay, so what is happening here? What is this top layer? No, no, no. Oh, I see. That's what this is. So this needs deleting, and this needs deleting. There we go. We need to fix that in a different way. Just sometimes I feel like shouldn't speak to customers either. Well, you know, really depends on the customer for me. Um, I think, hmm, I think there are customers who genuinely um, try to take the piss, basically, and take advantage of a given situation. And those customers, I have like a zero tolerance for. They get the me that interacted with that customer years ago, you know. But on the other hand, some customers, you know, I would rather give a bag of free pins than make them feel like they had an unpleasant experience purchasing from my store or supporting my Kickstarter. Because if they put faith into what I do, then they deserve the best possible service. I don't think you're alone in that experience. It sounds like it wasn't too bad of an experience either, which is good. Oh yeah, they had a very specific idea of what they wanted on their website, basically, um, which I can kind of explain. to you what the case was because it's a dilemma for a lot of companies nowadays as well, right? Um, there's two different kind of websites. There's the portfolio kind of website where you have it's more graphic based, a lot of big images, makes you feel more immersed in the experience. Nowadays, they are used a lot for restaurants and events, festivals, where you have the big carousel type images and so on and so forth. Keeping in mind there wasn't really carousels back then, or there was, and I just couldn't do them. Or the itsy bitsy text with all the little links on the side that look like a really long list. They were really popular in the mid 2000s, I would say. They looked like Yahoo Pages type websites, with all the little navigation buttons, one next to each other, and you had to like read through a whole bunch of things to. I mean, still well laid out, but it's just a lot of text. Customer wanted a lot of text for an aviation company that they flew things around basically. You, I don't know if it was you rent a small plane from them or something like that. I wanted the big images because um, I wanted the customer to feel like they're seeing what they're about to experience because obviously I like graphics and I thought this was the perfect time to do it and why not? And they wanted the more techie approach. And I kept telling them in front of my boss, yes, aviation training. Perfect. Perfect. See? I wanted to convey the experience with big graphics, and they wanted the more detailed approach. I think that's essentially what it boiled down to. And I was in a meeting with the customer sitting here, and my boss sitting here, and I was telling the customer, no, I think you're wrong. I think you're making a big mistake. This is not how it should be. That looks ugly. It doesn't look professional for what you are trying to accomplish. And I think we can do better. And um, my boss had a laugh. I mean, he wanted to hit me upside the head, but he didn't do that. It was aviation training. That is awesome. It's awesome that you remember as well. I wonder how many times that came up, how badly I treated those customers. I hope they stayed to work with the company. They didn't leave. I mean, essentially, it's not about being right, because yes, maybe, you know. But if a customer comes to you wanting something, like imagine if you came up to me and you said, you know, I want you to draw a commission and I want you to draw my favorite character doing this. And instead, I tell you, no, I don't think that character would do that. I think he would do this instead. That's not really good service, is it? I don't get to draw what I want if it's a commission. Yeah, that's what I thought as well. But, well, the owner is his sister, our boss. Oh, okay. An old boss, is that Simon? Oh, I see. I see, I see, I see. That is awesome. Hello, Kuroneko, and thank you kindly. Yeah, I think that was his point. Uh, He wanted to convey information, make it straight to the point, blah blah blah, and not a lot of frills. But I was young and artsy and full of ideas, so that happened. I am liking the shading, and I was not liking it when I did the exact same thing 3 days ago and deleted all of it like 4 times. It is blending quite well. And I have to say, if we didn't have this brush for this piece, it would not have turned half as well. I'm assuming you're still working and programming then, Ben. The brush is amazing. I wish I could find something similar. I did try and link to the artist that I got this brush from. I just don't know because they have a new set of brushes on their website. It's not very expensive. It's only like $6. New set of brushes on their website. It's not very expensive. Sorry. It is, yeah, it is not very expensive. The brush set that he has on now, but um, I don't know. And it's confusing me. Yeah, I just don't know if it's the same. If he has the same brush within it. I manage a company and doing consultancy on the side, still related to development though. Oh, that's fantastic. Very well done. Very well done. Very good. Uh, how far we've come from hanging out in a garage and me cursing at you all for having better aim than I at Call of Duty. Mm, those games. Oh, come on. Silly lag. And I'm still bad. I'm running 16 PCs on one outlet to my fire. Yes, exactly. Crazy. Crazy times. Good memories, though. Good memories. Sometimes is your mic is muting. Yeah, my mic goes off when my headset decides to connect because it's Bluetooth. Um, decides to connect to disconnect. Sorry, words. Words don't always form properly. Um, so I have to let it reconnect because I am not very tech savvy. So this is the best I can do right now. I'm shit, is what we're getting at. No, I probably couldn't because I really am garbage at those games. If there is any element of PvP in a game, I get so flustered and I get so anxious that I'm just, you know, I'm useless. Words. Words are just sounds that should make sense, and sometimes they don't when I say them. Um, See, I would like to figure out why when I connect them with the jack to my laptop, they don't connect. They say that they do, but they're not visible. They're not visible in settings. No audio comes out of them. No mic works. I just don't know. Because I'd like to have that happen. And oh, PvP stresses me out. Like, well, good. Like, really, really does. The only PvP I used to play that I was good at was World of Warcraft. And I was good at that. Not in a get kills kind of way, but because my gear always sucked. But yes, I enjoyed it, and I did not get frustrated over it. I love MMO PvP. Okay, so here the rules need to be a little bit different for these pieces. So what I am going to do is I'm going to create shapes, and then I am going to play around with those shapes to make the shadows. So because I want it to flow properly, and in order to do so, I need to not be conscious of the edges of the shape. Very difficult to explain what I'm doing. I don't think I would make a good teacher these days. Though, two of my four jobs outside of doing illustration were teaching. I'd rather co-op. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you like it. This is Celeste in a Starry Night look type thing. Oh, I like how the shading is turning out. Looking at it from here, it's quite nice. I am very patient. I mean, I can be very patient if I want to, but I am very patient with people trying to learn something. I can go at it like a bazillion times, very calmly, explain every time, very sensibly and not with tone. Okay, we need to rotate this because it needs to be in the arc of my hand. I don't know. I knew it was Kira by your hello because it just rang like your voice in my ear. Okay, 50%. Um, I don't know. I Where English isn't 100% my first language, I sometimes get a little bit flustered when I try to explain certain things. You remember this? Oh god. Scary. Oh god. See, it's always scary when someone posts a link. Too funny. Yes, I do remember that. I did a breakfast at Tiffany's Hello Kitty commission for Ben to gift to his other half, I believe. Are you married? What's happening there? Because I've been out of the loop with anything related to the island and people living in it. I am rubbish at keeping up with friends. Rubbish. Aw, Ava, you certainly can. If, oh my goodness, come on. If there is anything you would like me to explain a little bit more slowly and calmly, then let me know. Because I do I do enjoy it. I enjoy explaining things. Oh, I see. Look at you living your Sex in the City life. I'm glad. I'm glad she still cherishes it. Okay, this shadow has taken a bit of a turn now and has gone a bit to the dark side. Dark side of Celeste's shadow. Well, if I can help in any way, let me know. Because that's what we are here for. Tutorials by Jilly Bean. No, I cannot. I cannot use the bean. I told you I cannot use the bean. I think it's normal to feel that way, but I still think you have the skill and ability to be a wonderful teacher. Aww. Thank you, Suki. I am flattered and thankful that you feel that way, honestly. Oh, Kira, go get your boxes. Get yourself to safety. Oh, bye then. Ah, thank you. Thank you. And if you see me pop on Twitch and you're online, come say hello anytime you like. Or on Facebook, because I'm still there, even though I don't use that too much aside from work. It was nice hearing from you, and best of luck in Macedonia. And send my regards to Nathan. Yeah, take care of yourself, Kira. Please take care of yourself. Yeah, I'd like to do some, I don't know, I'd like to do some art teaching things. I enjoy the possibility of doing something like that. For the longest time, when I when I was studying IT and it wasn't really working out for me, I kept thinking about trying to get like a what's an like an arts teaching thing for secondary school students, which would be like high school, I guess. But my aversion to obnoxious teenagers in school put that to rest. I work better with adults. Ironically. Ooh. Oh, yeah. I see the trick with this shading is that it's not one layer of shading. We have four layers of shading here. That is a scary thought. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Tani. I was just thinking it's a scary thought coming from you, considering you have one of your own. And you have to love that teenager. It's in the rule book, no matter how bad it gets. Where I, as a teacher, would not have to love these little shits. Oh, terrible. I just remember you don't have to be perfect. It's something to teach it. Just be better than who you're teaching. Oh, that is true. Oh, that's a really nice way to look at that. I don't necessarily think I need. I. True. Oh, that's a really nice way to look. I don't think I need to be better than someone to teach something. I just need to have a different perspective. Yes, teenagers can be very intimidating. That's primarily it. It's not even, it's not the moods, it's not the when you're targeted by a teenager, a specific type of teenager, then, you need to keep your wits about you, and it's just not for me. I've been through that in a school setting, and I don't want to re-experience it. I had my share of dealing with bullying and stuff, and I'm not going to experience it as an adult trying to teach children who don't give a shit, and instead they want to make you feel like shit. Not happening. Not enough money ever. Well, not that teachers get enough money either way, but yeah. Yeah. Do I like this? Do I? Do I? Well, we obviously have a mistake here because this actually needs to not be this shape. This needs fixing. The sparkle. Which one is that? Do you mean the sparkle on the telescope and the moon, or the highlight? at the bottom of the tail. Oh, the telescope one. Yeah, it's quite cute. We still need to fix those two sparkles, the one on the moon as well. We need to add a little bit to them so they actually like stand out a little bit more and not just do. Let's see. All this needs to go. This needs to go. This here needs to go. Oof. See, lag plus streaming equals very NC Photoshop. Okay, that's there. So what I need here, which I'm assuming this is the highlight layer that's showing up here. Is it? Or is it not? What are we actually doing here? What is this layer? There we go. I'm like, what? What am I doing? There. Yes, 4 layers of shading. And depending on um, what are we doing? Come on, lag. Don't be annoying. Oh, it's that blue there that's keeping us from our white line that we want. There we go. Just wanted to tick in this line here. Perfect. I want to do an extra layer of white on top of everything so it's easier to work on. Oh, it's dinner time. I have to go. We'll come back after if you're still alive. Yeah, I think, yeah, might be, at least for another hour. You're always welcome. Photoshop has always been so intimidating to me. There's so many buttons and options. I don't even know where to start, but I'm always so amazed with what people can create with it. I recently bought Procreate, like I mentioned to you, and it's similar, but I haven't been brave enough to dive in yet. Um, when it comes down to it, I think I, hmm, I don't know. Tanit, um, do you use Photoshop as well, or because I don't want to try and make a point about Photoshop and then no one's around to really give another side to it. Do we have Photoshop users here? I use Procreate 90% of the time now, mainly because technically yes. Okay, so What I wanted to say is that even though Photoshop is quite vast, I basically use three of its options really from all the buttons. Oh, fair enough. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I can see how the more text-based option would be handy if Procreate doesn't tackle that very well. I thought Clip Studio was free. Oh, cheaper than Photoshop, though, I imagine. I mean, what isn't cheaper than Photoshop aside from buying an iPad? Oof, this lag. Lagarella. Ella, Ella. My bank reminds me every month that's not free. That's hilarious. I think she means um, Procreate. I think Lauren doesn't like Procreate. If I am not mistaken. Oh, okay. Oh, fair enough. Yeah. Hmm. Let's see. I'm a Clip Studio person. I find it super intuitive for drawing in comics. I use almost every drawing program at least once. Oh, fantastic. Excuse me, rude. Yawning on stream. Rude, rude, rude. Whoops. kind of liking this, kind of on the fence about it. But I think it's mostly because the highlights are not blending very well. Suki, I think at the end of the day, um, it is all going to um, circle around what works for you. So if you can somehow try different media and try different softwares, that is going to benefit you um, because you will know which one kind of works for you a little bit better than the rest, which one doesn't, which one you feel that is more intuitive. You know, it is always personal experience. It is also always up to the individual. Like for me, it has been easier to do vector work on Photoshop rather than it is on Illustrator, even though Illustrator is built on making vectors. And even though all these thing companies come at me and be like, can you send us the Illustrator file instead? I'm like, no, I don't use Illustrator. Go away. Do your job. You're paid. Go. It's what works for you. At the end of the day, it your software, all it is, the software is the means where your creativity can be unlocked. This is going to sound so metaphoric and so bullshit. But your software, your hardware, your tablet, so iPad, sounds so metaphoric and so bullshit. But your software, your hardware, your tablet, so iPad, sounds so metaphoric and so bullshit. But your software, your hardware, your tablet, so iPad. Any better now? Yeah. Yeah, yeah, you hit the nail on the head, Lauren. It isn't about what software you use or what tools you use. It is how comfortable you can get by using them and just using them to your advantage to get to the results that you want. As long as it gets the job done, so to speak. Yeah, what I was basically saying the same thing as what you were writing. That said, Suki, you are a part of the Discord, and you are luckily surrounded by people who have used all of these things. So, if you want to learn Procreate or learn something about, want to ask something about Procreate, then Perdita is on there, and there's other artists that use it on there. If you want to learn about Clip Studio, then you can ask Lauren, or you can ask Thule, running on RAM, um, about it, because they use it. And if you want to learn about Photoshop, you can ask me about it. So that is the advantage of appertaining to a community that works together. And this looks absolutely rubbish. So we are going to remove all this extra shading that we just did because it doesn't blend well with Celeste's brand. Oh, you're welcome. This is what we are here for. I don't even know how to use Clip Studio, and that's all I use. Lol. That's funny. Okay, kind of liking this, kind of bit meh over some bits of it. And by this, I mean the shading that I'm doing. There we go. I think if I play around with this grain here, it will be a little bit heavier. Like, where else does it really need to be heavily shaded? I'm trying to do all the darker shading first, and then kind of focus on um, the highlights to make her pop. But in some places, the blue, the like sapphire dark blue, I feel is popping a little bit too much, and it's unbalancing the piece a little bit. But it could be just because of the lack of highlights still. So last thing we want to do is this. See, look at me vectoring with with Photoshop instead of Illustrator. This method that I'm using right this second, where I'm creating shapes out of using the mouse instead of like drawing. When I started creating t-shirts for QWERTY and them, I didn't own a tablet, and they wanted like really crisp lines and really, detailed, refined work to make t-shirt designs, and this is how I used to draw. I did everything using mouse and keyboard and the pen tool. So if you ever look up Throne of Games with my name on it, you will see like a Game of Thrones throne made out of gaming weapons, and that is the weapons are sketched on paper. Um, so I would sketch them on paper first, each weapon, and then I would scan them, and I would use the multiply tool to make them overlap each other. and then erase, like with rough erase, with the mouse, with like erase this bit, erase this bit. And then I would go over the entire thing with this and just draw bit by bit by bit by bit by bit until I saved up money to buy my my big boy, because I, for the life of me, I could never use like an Intuos. I could never draw here and look there. I needed to. Yeah, that's mental. Megan is amazing. I absolutely love her work. She is so good. Okay, so here we're actually going to go and curve upwards with this. So this is kind of the flow I want to go for, but I don't know if it's going to work out. So we're going to play around a little bit until I get the desired shape. Do I want that, or is that too heavy? Oh, go away. It's kind of alright, but I don't know. Like, do we want this or do we not want this? Such a weird experience today playing Animal Crossing in the afternoon. That was so weird. So I am on a bunch of Discord servers for like event hosting and so on Animal Crossing, and I said, Paul wanted to use my desk for some work real quick, so I said, yeah, go ahead. Um, I'll have a break, and I sat down in the living room and I went into onto this island, um, where there was this meteor shower event happening. And when I got there, there was another couple of people, and very quickly it was just me and the host left. Um, by very quickly, I mean I'm pretty sure the others just took the DIY from Celeste and then left. And I was like, yeah, I'll hang out until she tells me to leave because it's a meteor shower. Might as well get some advantage out of it. And I stayed, and she came and stood next to me, and between breaks from the meteor shower, I started to water some flowers here and there, and she followed me around. Didn't say a word, just followed and clapped, and followed and clapped, and you know. And suddenly she started doing this, like moving forward, almost like shouting emoji, but it wasn't really a shouting emoji. It was just weird. I haven't. I'm sure I have it because I have most of the reactions now in the game, but I didn't know what specifically she was doing. So, what's happening here? Oh, everything okay? Yes, yes, yes. So if you for example come to my island when I have a meteor shower, and you prey on the stars, so to speak, um, the next day the stars will wash up on your shore as well. So I tend to, if I find time, um, try and visit other islands so I get star fragments to build items. And yeah, she was doing this reaction where my character was standing here. She was like leaning forward, and it really looked like it was a kissing emoji type thing. And then she was doing a blush emoji, and then the heart and whatever. And it kept going on for so long that it was just really awkward and strange. And she wasn't preying on any stars. It was just this constant. It was really weird and awkward. So, yeah, that happened. And then suddenly she started doing the crying emoji and the broken heart one and everything. And I'm like, you know what? This is kind of weird. I am going to not take these stars and go away. But yeah, that was so weird. Yes. It's like, girl, see, you know where I went wrong. Can you tell where I went wrong? It's like, girl, see, you know. I went wrong when I visited an island wearing a biker helmet with aviator glasses, leather jacket, shredded denims, and biker boots instead of my pink pastels. You know, there's no denying that little me, little villager guy, islander, can look like such a bad boy. Yeah, it was weird as. Yeah. See, now I know that whenever I go to someone's island, I need to wear either my bear suit, exactly, or the brown paper bag over the head with the pajama. And that way, there's no allure. No allure can come out of brown paper bag on the head and a pajama. Exactly. That is my new uniform. My Islander has to, unfortunately, reel in the charm because otherwise there's going to be sexual harassment claims going on. Oh, that was so weird. That was legit freaking. What is happening here? Oh, I see. This is why I'm struggling a little bit. See, when when you don't have your tools that you're used to in sync properly, things go a little bit weird. I didn't have my lazy Nazumi on, so my lines weren't as calibrated and smooth as I am used to them being. You know, that would be a good extension for you to get Suki if you're trying to work with Photoshop or Clip Studio. Lazy Nazumi. It helps smoothen your lines and give you like better curves and so on, rather than just your mouse on a, sorry, your pen on a glass surface feel. Lazy Nazumi. Oh, does it? That's very good. So I made. Oh, so I made you buy it for no reason then, Zach. That's good. Good stuff. See? Teachable moment. I make you spend money you don't need to spend. Ah, terrible. Oh, brilliant. As long as you found what works for you, that is what matters. Yeah, I'm sure there is. I'm sure there is. Okay, why is this line? Why am I not happy with this line? So if I remove this, what's happening here? There we go. So I want this, and then just a little bit more faded. There we go. Bit better. A little bit better. Yep. So the shading essentially is getting there. Let's say. Let's say it's getting there. Now what I want to do is work on continuing fading my highlights a little bit to make them blend in all the different areas. So have we reached orange? No, we have not reached orange. We hardly reached yellow here. Again, it is what you're used to and what you've become accustomed to using. I use lazy assuming, but it doesn't mean that, there isn't something else out there that is could be better, you know. It's just something I've used for years now. Welcome back, Abba. Yeah, I I used to get a lot of wrist cramps from drawing traditionally.